Hey guys, welcome to BowHunterPlanet.com. This is the 2023 Compound Bow Buyer's Guide. Today we're going to take you through a longer type video, but we are going to go through what the market is offering this year in 2023. There's some great stuff, and there's a lot more bows than you might even think. But before we do, if you love archery and you like what you see here today, please hit that subscription button, click that like button because it goes a long way. Also, special thanks to Tinks, Dead Downwind, and Trophy Ridge for their support of this show. So we're gonna have a lot of fun today, and let's get to it. So in order to see what's new in the industry, we need to start with what are the new tech ideas that came out this year. It's always important to see how the industry is changing and what technologies have come forth each year so we have an idea what's new and how does that affect us overall. So in order to do that, we decided to have some friends help us with this section. So let's send it over to Podium Archer, where MFJJ is going to take you through the new tech of 2023.
Hey, MFJJ here with PodiumArcher.com, talking about some of the new tech for this year. Bear created the Bear Paw grip. This is a one-piece grip that goes over all the two-piece integrated grip options that they've made for a really long time. So if you've always wanted a one-piece grip for your bear, this is a good option for you. Elite came out with a new carbon era bow. This is the lightest carbon bow of the high-end carbon bows out on the market today, and it does have this set technology which allows you to infinitely tune this bow left to right the way it should be, to where you can get it to square down 13/16 down the riser. And did I mention it's really light and it's still pretty darn fast? This is a pretty awesome bow. You got to check it out. Prime came out with the new cam system for them, the core system. It's modular interchangeable instead of pivoting module or full cam interchange, depending on what you're looking at. And they got a lot more performance out of this than in the years past. I know the specs look about the same, but this bow is actually quite a bit faster, and they're pretty clean and pretty smooth as well. But more than anything, completely new cam system on these bows all the way across the board. Bowtech Carbon 1. Bowtech's taking a swing at a carbon bow this year. It's a little heavier than the Elite era, but the weight is actually in the limb pocket, so it feels incredibly stable. Still has the flip disc technology, just like any other system does with Bowtech, and the deadlock cam adjustment system, which is super slick. It moves your cam left to right via Allen wrench as opposed to at the limb pocket. I think that's a little easier to use. Average guy can really do some damage with this bow in that realm. It's pretty neat, pretty exciting. Similar price point, a little heavier. I want to say it's a quarter of a pound heavier than the Elite. And then last but not least, we've got the Phase 4 Mathews with the rubber inserted system in their limbs. Now, some people might say this really isn't anything new. This looks just like last year's bow, and you would be right. However, there's 8 limbs on this bow. Nobody's ever done anything like that before. Rubber inserted and pressed, and this bow is quite a bit quieter and less vibration than last year's bow, so it's something to definitely consider and take a look at. And I want to say it went up $100 is all for that extra little feature. So innovation is something they've always strived at, and it is a pretty cool little feature. Check it out.
Thank you so much, MFJJ, for helping us with the tech section of this video. Check out Podium Archer when you guys get a chance. I will link them below. Now, let's go ahead and move on to all of the bows we need to cover today. Starting in alphabetical order, we're going to go through the different bows that were launched this year, throw you a little bit of information about them so you have an idea what you're looking for or looking to get. The first one we're going to start with is APA. APA is a brand out of Canada. They make some really cool, narrow, real thin bows. They call them good backcountry bows because you can pack them to your back real light. They're real lightweight aluminum bows that have a lot of power in their punch and hit. Small, very versatile type bows. The one they launched this year was the Black Mamba 29. This bow retails for $11.92. It's a 29-inch axle, 6.25-inch brace height, mass weight of a mere 3.55 pounds, which is one of the best parts I love about this bow. 24 to 30 inches of draw, so it's not going to fit everybody, but it does fit a lot of people, of course. 40 to 70 pounds. It's available in around 10 colors. The speeds they get are 355. The speeds we got, based on our 350 grain arrow 2970, was 338, which is really fast, honestly, if you think about it. So the bow only has 2 limbs, which gives it that narrow effect and allows you to pack it in like that so lightly and easily. They did add this cool winch system that goes on the bow that allows you to pull the bow up. It's a separate accessory, but it is built into where they can build it in and put the string through the riser, which makes it kind of cool and unique. All right, moving on to Athens. The Elevate is their new bow. I got a chance to see this bow at the ATA show. Unfortunately, I did not get a chance to shoot it, so I can't give you guys any info on the shots or anything about it. But I can just tell you the specs. The bow is $11.99 MSRP, 32-inch axle, 6-inch brace height, 4.2 pounds, 24.5 to 30.5 inches of draw lengths, 40 to 70 pounds. It's available in a very large amount of colors. I counted 18. I might be wrong there about a couple, but at least 18. There's a ton of different color options they have this thing in. They're claiming 345 feet per second for their bow. All right, moving on to Bear Archery. Bear's got a lot of variety of bows this year. Again, Bear is a company that offers the consumer price ranges from $400 all the way to now $11.99. So a lot of option with Bear, and they launched a lot of bows in 23. So let's start with the first one they launched was the Adapt. They teamed up with the hunting public to do this bow. It is a single cam bow, which is very appealing to some people that still love those single cam type bows. This bow retails for $459.99. Is a 32-inch axle, 6.5-inch brace height, 24 to 30 inches of draw, 45 to 70 pounds in draw weights. It's available in around 4 colors that we found, 320 feet per second. So the Adapt is also available in a package if you want to spend an additional $100, and it is totally worth it in my opinion. You might as well pick it up. Even if you don't plan to use those accessories, there's no point in not putting those in your little archery toolbox and keeping them in case you need them later, or if something happens in the field, you have a backup. But for the $100, you're getting all the things you need for those backups. Totally worth it. All right, moving on to the Legend XR. This was one of the bows I really love this year. I actually called this the best value bow of 2023 in my opinion. I felt this bow gave the consumer everything they needed at a price that was so reasonable that you really can't go wrong with it. The Legend XR is a dual cam bow. Bear bow $449.99 is a package of $559.99. Is a 32-inch axle, 6.25-inch brace height, 18 to 31 inches of draw, fits almost anybody, and 14 to 70 pounds in draw weights. 7 colors, up to 320 feet per second. All right, next up is the Cruiser G3. This was a brand new bow launched from Bear this year. The Cruiser is a line that really hits a lot of people. The price point of $449.99 for a package is a really good deal, and it really gets a lot of archers in the field, and kids and adults and women. It really fits just about anybody, and that's what makes it special. The bow weighs 4.2 pounds with the package on it, so it's a very lightweight bow and a great option in the field, of course, because of the weight. It fits everybody from 14 to 30 inches of draw length. It goes 5 to 70 pounds. It's absolutely insane. 7 colors, 320 feet per second. And now the big ones from Bear, the XQ30 and 32. There are 2 big ones for the year. This bow obviously is available in a 30-inch axle or a 32-inch axle. They both come in at $11.99 MSRP. They both have a 6.5-inch brace height. The 30 is 4.6 pounds, while the 32 is 4.8. The 30 will go 26 to 30 inches of draw, while the 32 will go 26.5 to 30.5. So you gain just an extra half inch basically, but it might be perfect for that user who's looking for that extra half inch. They both go 45 to 70 pounds. They're both 8 different color options. They both 340 feet per second. And in our testing, we got 328 out of the 30 and 324 out of the 32 on a 350 2970. This is their first push into the pro market, and we thought they did an excellent job this year with the XQ30 and 32. 2 wonderful options, and they also feature the Grizz Grip, which you guys might love. All right, moving on to Bowtech. Bowtech had a few different launches this year. Obviously, the Carbon one is one of those, but they also have a whole bunch of aluminum bows that they added in. We'll start with the CP30. This bow is $11.99 MSRP, 30 inches axle, 6.75-inch brace height, 4.5 pounds mass weight, 25 to 30.5 inches of draw lengths, 50 to 70 pounds, and it comes in around 10 colors and is said to be around 331 feet per second. We're estimating it comes in around 314 with our numbers. So then they have the SS34, which is $12.99, so it's a little bit more expensive than that CP30, but you're again getting a longer bow as well. This bow will be 34-inch axle, 6.75-inch brace, 4.7 pounds mass weight, 26 to 31.5 inches of draw lengths, 50 to 70 pounds, 10 different colors, 331 feet per second. Again, we estimate around 314. But I can tell you guys from my experience with Bowtech, when they say SS on anything, it is absolutely incredible. Super smooth really does mean super smooth with their bows. They also have the deadlock technology. They have a lot of great things going for them with their bows and a lot of great options for you. They also didn't forget about you 80-pound bow lovers, and they did that with the SX80. I'm sure they bolted up a little bit to get there. This bow's $13.99 MSRP. It is going to be a 34-inch axle, 6.75-inch draw, 6.75-inch brace height, 4.7 pounds mass weight, 26 to 31.5 inches of draw lengths, 80 pounds only, 10 different colors, 331 feet per second. All right, talking about Darton Archery, they launched this year the Prelude E32. This bow is $1149.99 MSRP. This bow is axle 32 inches, brace height is 6 inches, mass weight of 4.9 pounds, has draw lengths of 27 to 30.5 inches, draw weights from 40 to 80 pounds, 80% let off. This bow will shoot up to 342 feet per second, so it's pretty fast. I haven't had a chance to shoot this bow, so I can't give you guys any information on about how it shoots or anything like that. They definitely have a lot of color options as well, so you'll want to check out the Darton website to understand those. They look like there's more than 10, so look like a ton of different options for you guys to check out. All right, then we move on to Diamond. This is Bowtech's lower end price point bows. They have the Outtro and the Edge Max this year, two great options for you at low cost. So let's talk about the Outtro a little bit first. I actually got the Outtro. I got both these bows in here, but the Outtro to me was a great shooting bow for the price. You're looking at around $650 for a package deal on this bow, and it is a great shooter for that price and could make a great bow for somebody. This is far from the original Diamond brand I remember back in the day. This blows it out of the water, these new bows. They're absolutely incredible. So again, the Outtro package deal, $650, 31.5 inch axle, 7-inch brace height, 4.1 pounds of mass weight, 21 to 31 inches of draw, 8 to 70 pounds, which is crazy, 330 feet per second. The Edge Max, on the other hand, is $500 MSRP in the package, and this one is dual limbs, not split limbs like the Outtro is a split limb. This one's a dual limb, so it's a little bit different, a little more narrow, of course, because you only have 2 limbs total. 31-inch axle, 7.125-inch brace height, 3.7 pounds, so super light, 16 to 31 inches of draw, 20 to 70 pounds in draw weights, 4 different colors, 314 feet per second. All right, moving on to Elite, we got the new Omnia. This bow was a super impressive bow to me. I felt that the Omnia really upstaged the Envision, which I thought would not be possible. I always thought the Envision was an amazing shooting bow, but this Omnia not only was a great shooting bow, but also brought in what I was deeming as about 10 feet per second more in speed, which was incredible in my opinion. The Omnia is $1199 MSRP, 32-inch axle, 6-inch brace height, 4.5 pounds, 24.5 to 30 inches of draw lengths. It'll go between 40 to 70 pounds, 15 different colors, so it's a ton of options there. 347 feet per second. Our BHP rating was 328 feet per second, which again was about 10 feet faster than the Envision we did last year. All right, moving on to Hoyt. Hoyt's got a variety of new stuff, but one of the most important bows Hoyt launched this year, some people aren't really talking about, but I think it's very important, is the Cobalt. They finally hit this bow that's going to hit kids, and that is a very important segment for us, for all archers, for you watching this, for me, for all these industry people. We have to have more bow companies supporting the children and getting more bows out. So I was super proud of Hoyt for doing the Cobalt this year. It's a big deal, and it's a big deal because the Hoyt brand now gets back on that youth model that little kids can shoot, and I really think that's an important thing as far as the heritage goes of archery. So the Hoyt Cobalt is $449 MSRP. It does have the package option if you would like that. The axle is 29.25 inches, brace height 6.875 inches, mass weighs 2.8 pounds, 18 to 28 inches of draw length, 4 to 45 pounds in draw weights, 4 different colors. Hoyt then launched the VTM 31 and 34, both great shooting bows, and to be honest with you, the VTM 31 was one of my favorite shooting bows this year. I thought it was an extremely stable bow, meaning like when I drew the bow, I felt like it locked in really well where nothing moved. I didn't move, it didn't move, it just stayed dead steady. And I shoot a lot of great bows on this program, of course, but for some reason that one just clicked as a little more stable than most, and I don't know what it was, but it shot very well for me. So the VTM 31 is $1349 MSRP, 31-inch axle, 6-inch brace height, 4.6 pounds, 25 to 30 inches of draw lengths, 30 to 80 pound options. 13 different colors, and they're estimating 342 feet per second. We got 322, which we thought was very fast with the bow. The Hoyt VTM 34 is $1449 MSRP, 34-inch axle, 6.25 inches of brace height, 4.8 overall pounds, 26 to 31 inches of draw, so that gives you the extra 1 inch for those who need that longer draw length. The 34 would fit you perfectly. 30 to 80 pounds, 13 different colors, 334 feet per second. But Hoyt didn't disappoint. They still came out with the bow that's going to hit 350 feet per second, the Z1S. This is a bow I'm still trying to get my hands on, but eventually I will have it. This is the powerhouse bow from them this year. This is an aluminum bow. Z1S is going to be $1499 MSRP, 33-inch axle, 5.88-inch brace height, which is going to give you that speed because it's super small, and it's going to come off that super fast. 4.7 pounds, 25 to 30 inches of draw, 30 to 70 pounds in draw weights. 13 different colors, again, 350 feet per second. All right, moving on to Mathews. We have 3 new bows from Mathews this year, the Phase 29, the Phase 33, and the Image. So 3 different options for you as a consumer. Starting with the Phase 29, that's a $1299 MSRP bow. Again, they added the quad limbs at the top and bottom of the bow, so you have an extra 2 limbs that you don't normally have from the V3X to the Phase 4. You got 4 limbs up top, 4 limbs on bottom, sandwiched by a piece of suppressive material. This is totally new idea, never been done before, so we don't know what's going to come of this, if it's going to be a better thing, a worse thing. No one has any idea. This will be the perfect company to launch something such as this. Most companies don't play in the realm of limbs. They just don't. Limbs are some of those things, once you get them, they work. They kind of stick with that and don't mess with it anymore because limbs can crack and break. So I was very happy to see something different come. Let's just see where it goes. I'm very excited about it. Now, as far as the bow's performance, it shoots excellent. I put it up against the V3X, and again, they felt very similar to me. I do like the new idea of the bridge lock stabilizer going into the bow, so adding that onto the bow was a really big hit, I thought, this year for Mathews. Plus, it probably makes some extra money because they can now sell their own stabilizer that goes into it, so I totally understand the business side of it. Where it goes with this limb idea, I don't know yet again, but that's something I'm really excited to see as well, because this could be something where it is the future and everybody starts doing something similar. So we're going to find out soon, aren't we, in the next couple of years. Stay tuned on that. Let's go over the specs real quick. So the Phase 29 is $1299 MSRP, 29-inch axle, 6-inch brace height, 4.48 pounds, 25.5 to 30 inches in draw lengths, 60 to 75 pounds in draw weights, 8 different colors, 340 feet per second. We got 325 feet per second with a 350 2970. The Phase 33 is $1399 MSRP, 33-inch axle, 6.5-inch brace height, 4.68 overall pounds, 27 to 31.5, so it fits a lot of people, this bow. 60 to 75 pound options and weights, 8 different colors, 335 feet per second. And then they have the Image. So this is a bow that's going to have just 2 limbs, dual limbs on top, dual limbs on bottom, like the V3X type limbs. This is going to be a bow that's very specifically set to specific weights, and it's to fit specific people that need specific weights and want to shoot a Mathews. So it's going to be a little bit smaller bow, a little less cost. This bow is going to be $1199 MSRP, 29-inch axle, 6-inch brace height, 4.27 pounds, 25.5 to 30-inch draw lengths. Now the bow is very specifically weighted in 40, 43, 47, or 50-pound options. It has 8 different colors, and it shoots up to 335 feet per second. All right, moving on to Obsession Archery. They launched a few different models this year, a lot to look at here. So let's start with the XBR. It is at $1097 MSRP. This bow is axle 30.5 inches. Brace height is 6 3/8. Draw weights from 50 to 70 pounds. Draw lengths can go from 24.5 to 29.5 inches, so there's definitely a variety there. Mass weight of 4.6 pounds and shoots up to 340 feet per second. Now, Obsession has a huge variety of colors. I can only recommend going to the website to check them out. There are so many I can't even begin to tell you, but a ton of options. Check out the website to learn more on the colors. All right, moving on to Nitro Ghost. This is a bow we've actually had here at the studio. It is a sweet shooting bow, and it has a lot of power, you can tell. But one of the coolest parts about this bow I love is the design. And I make the comment in the video I did about it being like the Ferrari of the industry. It has a look to it, and that is important to some people. They want their bow to stand out and have a cool look to it, and I feel like this bow really does that. It has such flair to it, it's pretty cool. 31-inch axle, 6-inch brace height, 50 to 70 pounds. Jaw lengths range from 25.5 to 29 inches. Mass weighs 4.4 pounds, and the MSRP is $987. They also launched the Chaos HZ. This is a bow that's in-house here as well, and I thought this was one of the stablest shooting bows I've ever shot. This bow, it locks in so well that I can see why a 3D shooter or a target shooter might actually consider buying this bow. It could be used for hunting and all those other things. It's a very stable bow. It's a simple bow. There's not like a ton of stuff on it because it's not its most expensive bow at only $697 MSRP, but it's a very sturdy, stable bow. So if you're a person who doesn't care about too much tech, this could be a great option for you for under $700. So the axle of the Chaos is 33 1/8. Brace height 6.5 inches. Draw weights are 50 to 70 pounds. Draw lengths range from 24.5 to 30 inches. Bow mass weight is 3.8 pounds, and again, MSRP $697 with an IBO of up to 348 feet per second. All right, moving on to Prime. So Prime's got the Revix 2, 4, and 6 coming off the inline last year. Again, one of the biggest things for them was adding this new core cam we talked about earlier in the show to allow their bow to get to that 31-inch mark, which was super important for a lot of their consumers who are asking for it. These are well-built bows, and they have a great platform in the Prime bows. Excellent platform. So let's talk about that real quick. So the Prime Revix 2 is $1299 MSRP. It is a 32-inch axle, 6.25-inch brace height, 4.5 pounds overall, 26 to 30 inches in draw lengths, 40 to 80 pound options, 15 different colors, 338 feet per second. The 4 is going to obviously be a 34-inch axle. So the Revix 4 will retail for $1299 MSRP. It is a 34-inch axle, 6.25-inch brace, 4.6 pounds overall. The draw length options are 26.5 to 30.5 inches, and it goes 40 to 80 pounds as well, 15 different colors. And the Revix 4, we were able to achieve 319 feet per second at a 350 grain arrow, 29 inches of draw, 70 pounds. And then the Revix 6 is $1399 MSRP, 36-inch axle, 6.7-inch brace height, 4.7 pounds overall, 27.5 to 31.5 draw lengths. Again, that is where the core cam comes in and really helps the Prime users get to that number. 40 to 80 pounds in draw weight options, 15 different colors, 330 feet per second. All right, moving on to PSE. PSE launched their Fortis at the ATA show.
How's it going, everyone? Cade with PSE Archery, talking 2023 lineup, and got the brand new Fortis here. The Fortis is going to be coming in at a 30-inch axle-to-axle along with a 33-inch axle-to-axle. It'll be offered in 3 different cam options: the S2 cam, the E2 cam, and the new EC2 cam. The EC2 cam is going to be more of a smooth draw cam as opposed to a speed performance cam like the S2 and E2. Draw length ranges all the way from 26 up to 32.5. Something pretty sweet and unique that we did this year. All Pro Series model bows going out the door are coming compatible with the EZ220 shim system, which leads into us having a fixed cable guard as opposed to the adjustable cable guard we've had the last few years. A new feature on the bow is the Picatinny sight rail, and something super unique about it, you can move it in 2 different mounting locations, the top or the bottom, it being in the bottom here. We also offer the standard sight picture mounting position on most bows. Another cool, unique feature that both the Fortises offer are the QED integrate rest mount option along with tap holes for the Hamskea Epsilon, 2 dual burger button holes for mounting. So this bow is compatible for any rest on the market, whether you want a whisker biscuit, limb driven, cable driven, you can mount it to this bow. The Fortises are all come with the new Traction Tech grip, more streamlined than the comfort grip that we had on years past. You can also take this grip off and shoot it on the shelf like most PSEs like people have in the past. This bow also comes with the kill shock dampener and along with both limb dampeners, top and bottom. It'll be offered in 4 different solid colors: the charcoal, tan, black, and OD green, along with our other camo finishes.
All right, guys, now we're going to talk about carbon bows, a whole different section here on the video. I'm going to kick it over to my friend Bryan at Mike's Archery to tell you more.
Thanks, Dave, and we appreciate you giving us this opportunity at Mike's Archery to collaborate with BowHunterPlanet on these bow comparisons. So let's take a look at the top 2023 carbon bows. So we're going to give you a little comparison and rundown of what these new carbon bows are looking like and kind of the breakdown of the specs of how they stack up against each other. So as we come across the board, we're going to be looking at the Hoyt RX7, which technically was a 2022 bow carried into 2023 with some new colors. Then we're also looking at the Bowtech Carbon 1, which is brand new for this year. And then the PSE Mach 34 with an E2 cam on it, as well as the new Elite Era carbon bow. So as we look at the specs on these bows and kind of make a comparison, a couple of them are at 30-inch axle to axle. You got the Hoyt RX7 and the Bowtech Carbon 1 coming with a 30-inch axle to axle. Then the PSE Mach 34 is going to be the longest of the four at 34 inches. And then the Elite Era following in between, just shy of 32 inches at 31 1/4. So from a standpoint of shootability, the shorter bows are obviously going to be a little more critical, but in this new age, it's really not something to be concerned about. But the Mach 34 is going to give you the most forgiveness out of these carbon models. Now when we look at the brace height of these four bows, they are similar, but they do range from the Hoyt being at 6 1/4 with the shortest brace height, and then the Carbon 1 coming to you at 6.63 inches. And then the PSE Mach 34 having a 7 1/8, then Elite having the longest brace height at 7 1/4. Again, from a forgiveness and shooting standpoint, the Elite Era having that 7 1/4 brace height is going to have the most forgiveness, and that is what Elite's platform has been built on, is shootability. So it is going to have the most forgiving brace height of all these bows. Now when we look at let off, most of them have adjustable let off. Now the Bowtech Carbon 1 is coming at you with only an 85% let off. There's no adjustability there. The Hoyt does have the ability to go from 80 to 85 on the module, while the PSE has an 80 to 90% let off adjustment also on the draw stop module. And then the Elite has probably the most extensive draw stop module adjustments there for let off, going from 70 to 90% in 1% increments because of that microdrive V2 module. Now the Elite Era comes to you from the factory with a performance mod on it, but you can also trade that out for a smooth mod for a little smoother draw cycle, or you can get a static 75% let off mod for that bow as well. The PSE also allows you to go to a low let off mod that you can swap out if that's something you're looking for at less let off to give a little more holding weight. Now as far as the weights on these bows, they do range wildly. From a carbon standpoint, typically you're looking at a carbon bow because of the lighter platform, and you're able to get a lighter bow whether you're going out west, just wanting to shave some ounces, or for whatever reason. Typically you're looking at a carbon bow to get the weight down. Now the lightest factory spec weight on these bows is coming in on the PSE at 3.65 pounds. From there, you've got the next heaviest bow is at 3.9 with the Hoyt RX7. Now right behind that, you've got the Elite Era coming to you at 3.95 pounds, and then the Carbon 1 coming into you as the heaviest carbon bow on the market for this year at 4.5 pounds. Frankly, that's one of the things that we looked at in one of our reviews. It is heavy, still a great shooting bow, but if you're going at a carbon bow because you're wanting to shave weight, the Carbon 1 is going to be the heaviest out of these four. Now as far as speed ratings with the Bowtech speed ratings on these bows, the fastest one is coming in rated at 342 feet per second with the Hoyt RX7, and then the Bowtech Carbon 1 is coming in at 335, matched with the PSE Mach 34 at 335, and then the Elite Era coming in at just 1 foot per second faster at 336 feet per second. Now as we tested those bows in some of our speed tests, across the board the PSE actually tested with a 400 grain arrow, all those bows at 70 pounds, 29-inch draw length. The PSE was actually the fastest at 316. The other three bows came in at 300 and 301 feet per second with that 400 grain arrow. So as far as speed goes, we're seeing the PSE win out as the fastest, even though it is not rated the fastest. Now as we look at the tunability of each one of these bows, they have very different systems. The Hoyt is probably the least tunable as far as working on it with just a basic shim system, while the Bowtech Carbon 1 probably has the most extensive system with their deadlock cam system as well as the deadlock pockets, being able to adjust everything quickly and easy with just an Allen wrench. Now the Elite Era is very close behind that with their set technology, their LTR and that new V2 microdrive mod system on the SP cam. They've got a great tunability system there as well that's very easy to work with without a press and just an Allen wrench. From there you've got the PSE with their new 220 shim system, which is very nice and easy to change out, but you are going to need a press for that. So as you look at the tunability and setup on these bows, there is a wide variety of how they get to being a great performing bow and able to shoot just the way you want it to. Now next we looked at the grips on these bows, and they all have a really nice, great feeling grip. In my opinion, the Hoyt being probably the better feeling in your hand with that Vital Point grip, but Bowtech has the most adjustable grip with that clutch grip system, allowing you to really micro-tune the feel of that grip. And then the PSE and the Elite having a nice slim line grip with side plates or an add-on grip there. Just a basic good feeling grip in your hand. Now there are some integrated features that some of the manufacturers have. With Hoyt, you've got the option of their pick rail sight system, as well as their integrated rest and the inline quiver system, the Go Sticks and the SL sidebar mount, all of that creating a nice inline, sleek system that works together well. From there, Bowtech has incorporated the integrated rest system, but everything else is going to be your standard setup as far as your sights and your stabilizers. It's all going to be your standard traditional accessories on that bow. Now with PSE, you've got the ability to use not only the QAD, but also the Hamskea integrated rest system, whichever one you choose there. After that, you've got traditional accessories to go on it. With Elite, they have not come into the integrated market at all. You're going to be able to use any accessory on that bow from top to bottom, including some of the Elite accessories, and that is going to be what you're going to be stuck with there. So if you're looking for something really sleek and inline, Elite is still just using traditional accessories. Now when we look at the overall feel and shootability from these bows, frankly, they all have an excellent draw cycle, a great aftershot, very dead in the hand. They are slightly different, but it's very minute. It's really something that you as the consumer are gonna have to go to your shop, pick these bows up, shoot them for yourself, and figure out what best suits you from top to bottom on these models. Like I said, they're all quiet, they all shoot well, but there's probably very little difference across the board. It's going to be a personal feel and a personal setup for what you like to have in a bow. Now as far as a back wall, Elite is the only one using a limb stop. Now the other bows have a nice solid back wall. Even with cable stops, they feel great. But if you're wanting that true rock solid back wall, Elite is the only one with a limb stop option. Now when it comes to price, they're all falling very close. Elite coming in at the cheapest of the four at $16.99, and then the other three models coming in at $17.99 retail. So again, if you're stepping into the carbon market and that's where you're wanting to go, or maybe you've been a player in there and you just want to change it up, just be ready to drop $1,600–1,700 on these new bows and along with accessories, and you're going to be over $2,000 walking out of your shop with a complete setup. Hopefully this allows you to make a better decision if you're looking at a new carbon bow, and we're going to turn it back over to Dave at BowHunterPlanet.
Thank you, Bryan from Mike's Archery, for taking us through the new carbon offerings this year. A lot of great bows to see and a lot of great bows to shoot for the consumer. So make sure you guys get out and test those bows when you can. Check out Mike's Archery online. We will link them below. And thank you again, Mike's Archery, for doing that portion. Now we have one more thing to talk about, and that is one more section that is kind of different. And I'm calling this the Extreme section, and this is Magnite from Xpedition Archery. Xpedition launched two new bows, the X-Lite 31 and the X-Lite 33. These feature a new material called Magnite. This material is some sort of mix that we don't really know what's in it, but it's some sort of mix between carbon and aluminum, and it has some different values to it. Now, I'm calling this the extreme market because these two bows are going to be a little more expensive than even the carbon market, and that's why we have a lot to look at these. So let's talk about the specs real quick of these bows, and we'll talk a little bit more about this Magnite idea. All right, so the X-Lite 31 is $1949.99 MSRP. It is 31-inch axle, 6.5-inch brace, 3.75 pounds overall, 25.5 to 30.5-inch draw lengths, 50 to 70 pounds, available in 5 colors, and shoots up to 336 feet per second. So the X-Lite 33 is $1999.99 MSRP. Is 33-inch axle, 6.5-inch brace, 3.85 pounds overall, 26 to 31 inches of draw, 50 to 70 pounds, 5 different colors, 338 feet per second. Now I don't have these bows yet, guys, so I can't give you information on how they shoot or anything like that just yet. They're still new and still on their way to us. But I will say this is a cool idea. It's something different, and I love the idea that we have a different material hitting our bow industry. So now we have the aluminum, we have the carbon, and now we have Magnite. So this is exclusive to Xpedition, so I don't see this being something that all the companies are used, but you never know, I guess, right? As things go on and volume goes up, you don't know what happens. But pretty cool and something definitely different. All right, guys, well, I hope you had fun with me today talking about the 2023 Buyer's Guide. There's a lot of great options in the marketplace, and I know you guys have seen a lot today you maybe didn't know about. And that was the whole purpose of this video. It's just to fill you in on what's out there, because you might not have seen some of these or even thought about some of these brands, but it's definitely important. Get your local pro shop, shoot these bows, and see what fits you best. That's the most important thing I can tell you about all these different bows. What fits you the best is what's the most important. I'm Dave Thomas. Thanks for watching BowHunterPlanet.com. Make sure you subscribe. We'll see you next time.